Rishi Sunak leaves the D-Day celebrations earlier than everybody else.
Rishi Sunak leaving the D-Day commemorations before the end of the day.
What happened was completely wrong, and the Prime Minister has rightly apologised for that, apologised to veterans, but also to all of us, because he was representing all of us.
What can you say? They're politicians. They're politicians. I don't have a great regard for politicians.
But yesterday, the American president, the German chancellor, the French president, they all stayed to the end. And our prime minister left early. And I wonder
because he's electioneering.
Yeah, because he's got an election. But as a British veteran, what does that say to you? What's your emotions about
I think he lets the country down. You know, it's not representation of how we're trying to weld things together.
So you had one easy job to make himself look okay during this entire election campaign, despite the other gaffes that he has already engulfed onto himself. Why on earth did he leave the D-Day celebrations earlier than everybody else? Biden was there. Biden doesn't even know what country he's in half the time. And yet Biden was there, Macron was there, David Cameron was there, which is arguably a bit of an odd choice to make your deputy prime minister, which is basically what David Cameron is, a deputy prime minister, stay there whilst you go off home back to your own country and do an ITV interview. How moronic is the man? All you've got to do is be like any infrequent absentee father. You go to the Normandy celebrations, the D-Day celebrations, the 80th anniversary from 1944 to 1944 to 2024. All you've got to do is meet the old cronies who fought for their country so valiantly and so bravely, more so than you'll ever do in your entire political life or indeed your normal life, and just shake their hands, nod, pretend to know what on earth they're saying. And also, like any other absentee father, you've got to pretend to like them for a little bit and pretend to know exactly what they're saying. But Rishi Sunak couldn't even do that. You got Nigel Farage on the beaches and amongst the tombstones of the fallen soldiers, waving the British flag. He is promoting how much he is in tune with the British values, which at this point seems not too far off the mark compared to the other candidates. Even Keir Starmer was there. Keir Starmer was there going, you know what, I'll be Prime Minister in a month. I'll be Prime Minister in a month's time. I just got to sit here and wave. All he's got to do, all Rishi Sunak had to do, was just maintain some kind of general election campaign and stability, is to just sit there, smile and wave. Went back for an ITV interview. And now he apologises. They are calling it resignation worthy. They're calling it resignation worthy that he just skipped the D-Day celebrations. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It makes people question, does Rishi really believe in our British values if he won't even stay for a D-Day event? No. Clearly not. Clearly not as much as our French counterparts, Labour counterparts, or whatever. Rishi Sunak is not a man of the people, and he never has been. He is out for himself, and his election campaign is going unbelievably awful, just like he is, because he is an unmandated, unelected, unwanted crime minister. But anywho, by the way, if you're new here, do not forget to subscribe to the Just Jake channel. We talk about anything that is on the people's minds. I'm not affiliated to any political party in particular. I think there are people in all walks of political life that all think the same thing, behave the same way, but I do believe in the odd gemstones throughout the entire political classes. It's all about personality type. You have scoundrels and scandals in Labour, you have scoundrels and scandals in Conservatives, and you have scoundrels and scandals in Reform, like any other party. What I'm interested in is individual policies, individual promises, and record and accountability. I believe every MP should be working towards their constituents and not themselves, which is what many politicians end up doing, looking after themselves. But anyway, I've got some t-shirts on the website, I've got some mugs. Feel free to buy them. Why not? And become a member of the channel, because why not? But anyway, Let's go and actually see what Rishi Sunak said about the entire situation. PM apologises for leaving D-Day early. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has apologised for a backlash for leaving D-Day commemorations in France early in what was seen widely as the biggest gaffe. The fact that it's the biggest gaffe just says a lot about how many gaffes this man has had. Mr. Sunak has been accused of dereliction of duty. There's been a dereliction of duty, mate, for 14 years from the Conservative Party as a whole, for leaving an event held to honour the 80th anniversary of the Normandy landings early. Whilst world leaders, including Biden, who doesn't even know what day it is, gathered on Thursday to pay their respects, Mr. Sunak left Foreign Secretary David Cameron to deputise for him and travelled back to the UK. Speaking to the reporters about the decision to leave after attending a British event, the Prime Minister said, on reflection, "That was a mistake, and I apologise, but I'm a millionaire, so who cares?" Mr. Sunak said his itinerary for D-Day events had been set weeks ago, and he couldn't even keep to it, even though it had been set weeks ago. And he has attended other events with veterans, blah, blah, blah. But you ran out on the most important event, Rishi Sunak. That is the entire point of this. In the BBC's first election debate on Friday evening, Conservative Penny Mordaunt called Mr. Sunak's decision to leave completely wrong and said he was right to apologise. The D-Day commemorations include the British event at Versailles, which the Prime Minister... Am I saying that right? Versailles? I'm not French. Which the Prime Minister and King Charles attended, but Mr. Sunak left before the international commemorations on Omaha Beach. In contrast, Labour leader Keir Starmer stayed at the event. He's loving it here. Keir Starmer has been handed this election onto a plate. He's been handed this victory for this election on a plate. He's won every single poll, but not because of his own charisma, not because of his own achievements in party, but because of how bad the Conservatives are. That's the only reason why he's going to win the general election, most likely. In contrast, Labour leader Keir Starmer stayed at the event to the end. But he was the last one out the door. He's like, oh, I gotta go over a bit. I gotta over eventually. I gotta go. Come on, Keir, you're wankered. I know, but Rishi's got so I've gotta stay. And here we go. Labour's Jonathan Ashworth. Remember Jonathan Ashworth? He used to be the Shadow Health Secretary. He's the guy who said Corbyn was an absolute tosspot in a secret hot mic moment, and still kept his job. That one. He said, in choosing to prioritise his own vanity TV appearances over our veterans, Rishi Sunak has shown what is most important to him. Sir Keir said he was struck by how difficult it had been for veterans to get there and how many made the effort to stand up from wheelchairs to salute the King. He said, I thought it was really important for me to be there and pay my respects to them and those that did not return and actually say thank you. Rishi Sunak will have to answer for his actions, but for me, there was nowhere else I was going to be. Oh, Rishi Sunak. Keir Starmer landed that one, didn't he? He landed that one. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. There's nowhere else I should have been. But Rishi, on the other hand, was in an ITV studio. It's just poor decision after poor decision. The thing about Rishi Sunak is, to me, he always looks like a clown. No, he always looks like an actor trying to get an audition for something. He always feels to me as though he's overacting the situation. He'll go up to kids and instead of giving some specific details, just seeming human, he'll be like, yes, we did do that, but the numbers are going down, yes, the numbers are going down, yes. It's the eyes. It's the eyes that are so insincere. I just don't believe a word he says. And apparently neither does the rest of the public. So, I've been Jake from Just Jake. If you've enjoyed the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, or become a member of the channel. It helps me massively. And don't forget, folks, make love, not war, because Rishi Sunak will not attend your event in 80 years' time to commemorate the actions that you did. You actually made it to the end of the video. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, which, why haven't you already, is somewhere over there. And also, if you want to watch more videos, also check out over there. I've been Jake from Just Jake. See you later.